And in culture studies, I'll tell you what is culture study, what are some important topics that you must read, and then we will discuss the theory of Panopticon. So before we start, we should greet each other. Good evening to all my students. Namaste, Sasrikal, Assalamu alaikum, Ram Ram. All the students from Rajasthan, Khamaghani, and all the students from Gujarat, Kemcho. Very good evening, all of you. I can see your messages. So, guys, do you know culture studies is the latest topic that has been added in syllabus? But this is actually not a latest one. I must tell you this thing. Culture studies questions asked in literature in 2014 NET exam. When like my first connection with these kind of references, it was in 2014 when I was preparing for JNU. I was trying to get enrolled in JNU for PhD. But at that time, it was not a direct system to take candidates who have not done MPhil. JNU is very much particular about that. JNU is not that easy. So what they do, they see if you have done your post graduation from a good university, if you have done your MPhil and all. So I couldn't make there, I couldn't reach, and maybe the life wanted me to go for some different expertise. There I came in contact with fourth wave feminism, fifth wave feminism, sixth wave feminism, culture studies, post humanism, and the latest studies, ethnocentric post humanism. Now, most of the students, when they study in small town colleges, in state universities, and maybe sometimes you do not get the ideas what is culture study. I also come from a small town village. In my college timings, teachers didn't know what is literary theory. Teachers never used to teach us Africans, Afro Americans, racism, or what is holocaust. So the problem is that if you have studied from small town college with a small town university doesn't have a syllabus like Delhi University. The syllabus of Delhi University post graduation and the syllabus of other small universities, there is a big difference. So most of the students don't know what is cultural studies. Now we have greeted each other. Let's go for the topic. Let's not waste the time and get back to the topic. So, my dear friends, first of all, take pen and paper. I will try to make things easy for you using my experience of 10 time net, right? So, and yes, there is an information also, those who are willing to join online classes, tomorrow is the last date. Tomorrow is the last date to join the batch. Batch is full. Third batch is full. So if you just join it by tomorrow, you'll be registered. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for next batch after many days. So let's go for culture studies. The first ever reference of culture. What is culture? That comes in Matthew Arnold. Matthew Arnold, his famous work Culture and Anarchy, he talks about culture and says that culture is something best which has been thought and said. So Matthew Arnold divided society in multiple parts. Hebraism, Philistines, then the rich people, the poor people, the populace, the middle class, the labor class. So for Arnold, culture was something that has been culture is something best that has been thought and said. But that's not a complete definition of culture. Arnold used to believe that in a social structure, society, people have different standards: poor, rich, super rich, royals, then gender based men, women, then age based kids, young boys, then adults, then old age people, then very old people. So society has multiple layers of structure, and the multiple layer of structure, rich, poor, black, white, male, female, all living together, they are having a discourse, they are interconnected to each other. So that interconnected process and the things revolving around, that is called culture according to Matthew Arnold. But he used to believe that culture is mostly dominated by the masses, means the common people, they are more in numbers, so they are the one dominating. Then culture got shifted to various levels. Raymond Williams studies the culture of the village, culture of the city. Here you have to write down this point. See, the country and the city concept. The country and the city concept is a village has a different culture. Many of you must be having your ancestral village. I have my ancestral village. So when I get a chance to go back, the life in Delhi and the life in village are two different things. In Delhi, we just wake up, like I tell you my routine. So I'll wake up, we'll go for a walk, we'll return. This is my study table. I'll read things, I'll start revising things. Within 1 and 2 hours, I'll be having my breakfast and I'll go to my office, then back, then maybe sometimes some television, then some reading, some live classes, or if we can go to mall, we can go to movies. But in the village, they get up early morning. For them, getting up 4 a.m. is normal. And if you see in the villages, you will see that nobody will wake up after 7, after 8. They're all early risers, early morning people. Then they sleep by proper time. They are more religious. So technically, they started studying the cultures. Now, when the culture studies got advanced, they started studying subcultures. How culture gets developed, how culture evolves, what are the important things that you must, you know, please don't watch Palakshi. Please don't watch video. Palakshi has written that I'm watching your video and I'm running on treadmill. That can cause injury. Please don't do that. That's my recommendation. So see, culture was dealing with various things. Now you must have heard this thing that you belong to a small town and you don't belong to the upper class culture. What is that upper class culture? What is that thing? आसिफ अली चौधरी ने लिखा है कि सर आप बार बार नेट क्यों देते हो? आसिफ, तुम्हारा नेट कभी नहीं होगा. मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ और तुम्हारा जो सारा एफर्ट है वो ये है कि सर से यार, सर इतनी बार नेट क्यों देते हो? आसिफ, गो टू क्रिकेट मैच, टॉक टू विराट कोहली, व्हाई डू यू हिट सेंचुरी अगेन एंड अगेन? सी, you must have seen horse. Horse has his eye covers like this. Horse looks at the target. So where I'm teaching culture studies, 150 students are live, they are listening culture study. One student's attention is totally different. So even if I give 20 times, 25 times, 40 times, my dear brother, you have to earn your income, right? I feel bad for you. I have my sympathies for your mental state. Anyway, this is the problem in public sessions sometimes. People come and they're like, okay, this, and that. So what happens? We are talking about culture studies and all. You must have heard this thing that, sir, I belong to a village. I don't mix up with upper class. I also have this issue. I live in posh area of Delhi. I rented a room as a student, struggled as a student. Now I am living in a posh area. It's a posh area. The common rent is 35,000 for one bedroom hall kitchen. But if I meet and mix up with these five, I find some barriers. I'm not able to mix up with them. I feel that there are a lot of upper class people. I belong to the commoners. I'm still desi. The pub culture, the disc culture, the multinational companies upper class culture. There are small cultures, subcultures. Now the concept comes how to develop the cultures, how to monitor the culture, and now our real topic starts. Today's topic is Panopticon. Take pen and paper and write down this thing. Jeremy Bentham, a philosopher, he went to meet his brother. Please remember, this is a very important point. Nobody will tell you this thing. Nobody will teach you this thing. This is a very important point. Jeremy Bentham, a philosopher, a writer, a reformist, he went to meet his brother. His brother was handling a construction agency. So some construction was going on. So Jeremy Bentham went to meet his brother. His brother was having a chair and sitting at the center of the construction ground. So there was construction going on, laborers were working, and what this man was doing? Sitting in the center at the height. So there was some heighted place. He was sitting at the center, looking at everyone. Jeremy Bentham said, brother, why are you sitting here? What's the need? Why do you have to watch everyone? He said, brother, when I keep an eye on everyone, they work better. Their work efficiency gets increased. See, simple this thing. See, now what happens? If you have a maid servant, and you are in the room and maid is working in front of you, she will work better. But if you are away, your maid servant, what will she do? She will actually avoid the work. So the simple thing is that if you want to have the perfection of the work, you must keep an eye. If you want to have perfection, you must keep an eye. Bentham got this idea and Bentham started working on this and went to the king. He said, "Sir, we need prisons like Panopticon prisons, so that you can see everyone 24/7. You can keep an eye. 24/7 you can keep an eye. What does that mean? If you're watching somebody, they behave. If you are watching someone, you know that someone, they behave, right? So panopticon concept, he told the king that, "Sir, let's do something. We will have better authority, better control." But the king didn't listen to that thing and Bentham died. Now they are focusing on the concept of panopticon and they have made prisons. The experiment of panopticon prison was done in Cuba in 1920s. Prison of Cuban prison, was a notorious prison because even the guards, the jailers, they were all corrupt people, and killings, deaths, fights in prison was a normal thing. What did they do? They made a structure of prison, a prison like this, and then there was a watchtower. The watchtower, the person sitting at the watchtower would see everyone. All the prison inmates were clearly visible. The crime rate decreased because they were all seen, they were all known. Now, this prison concept, if you want to know that fact, in Delhi, Tihad prison, Narnaul prison in Haryana, Andaman Nicobar cellular prison. These three prisons in India are based on the Panopticon prison model. These three prisons, Tihad, Narnaul prison, Haryana, Andaman Nicobar cellular jail. These three prisons in India are constructed based on Panopticon model. How this is related to culture study. So now I'll tell you how this is related to culture study. Before I tell you this thing, I tell you a mesmerizing fact, a very important fact. Jeremy Bentham, when he died, he made a death wish. He said, "Please do not bury me. I want to see. My eyes are panopticon. My eyes are cameras. I want to see. Even after my death, don't bury me. I want to see people." Like this video because I'm going to tell you an amazing fact. If you respect knowledge, if you love knowledge, because within 2 minutes you will be knowing the fact. Like this video for this point. For this point, you should like this video. Now, when Jeremy Bentham died, his skeleton was reconstructed with plastic face, wax face, and his body is sitting in the Museum of London. His skull has two CCTV cameras inside, and whatever Bentham sees is played on a television screen. So if you go to the Museum of London, you will find the body of Bentham. His two eyes have CCTV cameras involved. They are watching the visitors, they are watching the audience, and the television is showing that thing. If you love this fact, like this video. Respect the knowledge. Now see this, friends. No, it is not cartoon bana diya. Bentham wanted to see things. Come on, I couldn't see the likes. You didn't like this fact? I just became the fan of Bentham knowing this thing. That a man who kept on dealing with the theory of panopticon, even after his death, he said that I want to see the things, I want to watch. His skeleton, his body skeleton is in the London Museum. CCTVs are in his eyes. If you see the Google image, you will look that a man is sitting like this and his eyes are open. Now the concept comes that how Bentham's panopticon concept is connected to literary theory or the cultural studies. In ancient Greece, there was a prison known for one of the most secure prison. Nobody could break the prison. Nobody was capable of breaking the prison. Nobody could run away. Now, why? What is the reason behind that? Because in that prison there was a guard who would never sleep, the chief guard of the prison who will never sleep. So whenever the prisoners, they would break the prison, they would try to run and they would cross the corridors. Whenever they would reach to the last gate, the final corridor, final gate, the guard was watching them. Look at my eyes. The guard sitting in the chair and watching. The prisoners used to think that, oh my god, this guard never sleeps, and they would return to their respective prisons. They would go back to their prisons. That no, we can't go, he's watching us. This is the power of Panopticon, controlling. You know, in the schools, when you're roaming around, your principal says, I'm watching you. When you are playing in the house, mother says, I'm watching you. A control. So the guard used to do like this, and nobody could break the prison. Approx 50 students still have to like. Come on, guys, like doesn't take your bank balance. Just like the knowledge. What happens? Many years passed. The prison inmates tried to break the prison. They would reach to the final gate. Guard was sitting like this. They would return. Finally, this is the control. This is the control of CCTV. Finally, they decided finally they decided that we will face the guard. We don't care. We will face the guard. We will fight the guard. Because finally you stop getting scared of that eye. That's rebel. That's revolt. So now these prisoners broke the prison again, and when they were going to the guard was looking at like this. So prisoners coming close with the weapons to kill the guard. Guard was looking like this. Guard was looking like this. When the prisoners almost came close and they were about to hit him, guard was still like this. That guard was actually sleeping. He used to sleep. He colored his eyes like open eyes. So his eyes were colored like this, that whenever he would sleep, it will look that the eyes are open. So all the prison inmates, they were shocked that this man is sleeping. And it's been 20 years, we had many chances to run away. That is the fear. The guard was sleeping, but his open eyes, which is actually the colored eyes, eyelids were colored. A fear, a control, the authority. There was no rule, no regulation. He was just watching, not saying anything, just watching. Just watching what made the prison inmates behave. Guard didn't say a word, guard was just sleeping, but just with open eyes watching them. What made them behave? Their inner conscience. They believed that we are doing wrong. So if somebody is doing wrong and you're just watching, they will start behaving. This is the idea of Panopticon, to have absolute power and control in society. All the governments want to have the Panopticon model. Those who understand or those who understood, just tell me that we have understood, so that I can tell you the next level of Panopticon. Those who have understood, this is culture study, latest topics. It is mostly taught in JNU, DU, or in Western universities. So those who understood, just text me. Those who loved it, liked it. Did you know that this is beautiful? This is a beauty of literature. You must have seen sometimes people come on YouTube and they abuse me or target me. They are 99% fake IDs. We check their URL IDs. We check the URL IDs. So 99% are fake IDs. Why they are abusing? Because they know they are fake IDs. They are not in our Panopticon, right? So, but yes, I must tell you, URL IDs can be tracked, especially if you're threatening for someone's life. So don't do that. Don't think social media, you can write anything. Social media laws are day by day, they are being strong. So now see this thing. Let's go for the second level of Panopticon. We have understood the concept of Panopticon. We understood that this is control. Now, George Orwell, write down this point. George Orwell wrote a book in 1949. The name of the book was 1984. Write down this thing. George Orwell. He was born in Motihari, Bihar. The real name of George Orwell is Eric Arthur Blair. Write down this point. This is the question of NET exam. The real name of George Orwell is Eric Arthur Blair. He was born in Motihari, Bihar in India. A celebrated author, a famous author. Name of book is 1984. The name of his book is 1984. Publication is 1949, and a very important book for NET exam. If you are a NET aspirant, you are watching this video and you do not read 1984 and you go to the exam, it means you are not prepared. So now in this book, the first idea of Panopticon comes in a social structure. It is a society which is controlled by a multinational company. This is a future story, future world, dystopia. That multinational company is watching everyone, and the line is Big Brother is watching you. So they are not only watching everyone, they are telling everyone that I'm watching you. There are lines, boards, hoardings, even telescreens, and the lines are everywhere. The line is flashing. Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother is watching you. Why they are flashing the line again and again? They are watching you through CCTV, they are watching you through the telescreen, they can read your mind. Even if you're in your mind, if you're thinking something, they can read it. They know your thoughts, they know your likes, dislikes, and then they tell you this thing: the Big Brother is watching you. You know, many of you and me, many of us, we are God fearing people. I am a God fearing person. मुझे भगवान को बड़ा वो होता है कि नहीं, don't do wrong, he's watching. See, so when I feel things that somebody is doing wrong, so also, I also say the same thing, that see, God is watching, right? Why we are having this acceptance, all the believers. So those who believe in God, Christ, or Allah, they are all are one. So those who believe in these things, they are like that. See, God is watching, so we must behave. No, no, no. I cannot do this crime. God is watching. This watch itself, the eye itself, makes us behave. Big Brother is watching you. The repeated line, the repetition of this line fixes in the brain of, it gets fixed in the brain of the characters, that even if they want to do something against the government, they should be scared. God is watching. Big Brother is watching. Now, Big Brother is watching is a concept that has been copied by Salman Khan. Big Boss. Know that? Subah 7:30 baje. So Big Boss is watching you is an idea based on Panopticon of Big Brother is watching you. Now how they have a control? CCTVs are used to monitor you. When you go to the markets, you go to the shops. So CCTVs are always there, they're watching you. But do you know if the CCTV is working or not? Even if the CCTV is not working, we don't know that in the main generator room the CCTV is working or not. We are scared. We are scared. We see the camera and we are like, no, 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 they are watching us. Behave. Suppose you go to attempt an interview and you are feeling like itching, but then there is a CCTV. Will you do that? You are going for an interview, or you just want to clean your nose, and then CCTV is there and they're watching you. Will you do that? So CCTV is a kind of unseen control which helps the government to control you. And now in 21st century, why this has become very important in cultural studies topic? Because the government is keeping an eye on you. Your mobile phone, your WhatsApp chats, telegrams, your gallery, your likes, dislikes, choices, your weight, your heart rate, heartbeat, your family connections, your affairs, everything is in the eyes of government. If they want to know you, if they want to track you, you have nothing hidden. Neither your accounts, your PAN card, your GST, your phone numbers, everywhere you go for shopping, they'll say, sir, please your phone number. With your phone number, they can tell you the last weekend what all did you purchase. Alexa, a machine which is in your house that sings songs when you just give a voice command. It is also recording a lot of voices without letting you know. Your smartwatch tracks your heartbeat, tracks your regular movement. You leave from this house, you go to that house, you go there and there and there. Your mobile phone keeps a record. Is there anything which is not known to the government? They know it. And why do they know it? To control you. And along with that thing, in the postmodern literary developments, we are all the consumers. They are simply taking your the advantage of knowing your brain. They are trying to understand your brain so that they can colonize you, they can control you. When you open Amazon, Myntra, Urbanic, or other dresses, you know what they do? They give you your kind of dress based on your last experience, based on your choice. They'll be giving you people who have purchased this, purchased that. They know your psychology, they know your brain. On Instagram, if you search bikes, you will have hundreds of bikes. This happens. Like I feel like I should buy a super bike. It's been long. I just want to buy a good bike, a super bike. So what happens? If I have clicked one video of a bike, I will have hundreds of videos. And then I start feeling like let's buy, let's buy. They are forcing me to buy. Once I liked a video of Thar, a lot of Thars and Thars, and they will show you glamorous photos of Thar, adventurous photos, and you're like, let's buy, let's buy, let's buy. The algorithm works. They are controlling your thoughts. You search a good gym, you'll start getting messages. Are you fatty? You want to lose some weight? These things are there. They are controlling you. We have been controlled from all the side. We are no more independent. We are the slaves now. Panopticon is everywhere. They must be watching this video. Yes, they keep an eye on everything. So if the government people are watching this video, sir, it is just a theory. I'm just teaching a theory to my students. No offense to any government. Should I say that? True, true, true. Psychic. I also want to buy a headphone. I lost my headphone in the train. I also want to buy. So let me just take a breath. It was a long lecture, continuous speaking, but the most important thing is that if I could do justice with my lecture, approx 212 students are live, 187 likes are there. So 187 students are happy, 200 to 12 students, maybe some of them are still trying to understand, figure it out. But see, my effort is to make you understand. And do you know how all these knowledge comes? I tell you this. But please do not start buying these books. This one, Simon During Culture Studies. The advanced version, Simon and During and Culture Studies, advanced version. Then this one, Routledge Culture Studies. And I have 9 more books like this. But these 3 are my favorite because they all deal with Oxford level. All of these things. Simon During is an Oxford scholar. They deal with the latest thing. Now please don't buy because I have showed you the book. You will spend at least 12 to 13,000. If you buy these books, you will spend 12 to 13,000. No need. Because even if you spend 12, 13,000, you buy these books, your first target is net. So there is no guarantee that they will have direct question and you will have to read this much. So let your teacher read. Your teacher is more interested in reading these things. So don't worry. This is one of the very costly book, Post-Humanism. See, you can see a kind of cyborg. So how they are monitoring you, they are understanding you, they are controlling you. So your teacher is conscious about latest things. All you have to do is just listen to my lecture, revise those things, do justice with all those things. Now, after this, I have a class for UPSC. So I'll take some rest and I'll go for my UPSC class. And I must say that sometimes, what happens? Some disturbance happens. Someone comes and writes some line. So there are a lot of people, they can write anything. Sometimes there are teachers who cannot go for these kind of live classes. They have their working people. So they trouble him. Stop him from teaching live. He comes live. He doesn't need a book. So they try to divert. But it's whose loss? It's not my loss. If somebody comes and writes something, I'm not going to stop. Yes, Pooja, this is live class. I'm not going to stop. The problem is those who are wasting the time. And if you are a student, please remember your first target is your career. Your first target is your career. You don't have to worry about who is good, who is bad, who is perfect. Worry about who can teach you well, who can help you to qualify, because nobody is going to help you when you will sit at home, unemployed. Nobody will listen to you, nobody will talk to you. History remembers those who have done something, who have achieved something. So, to be the part of the history, avoid all distractions, avoid all narrations. Just like Arjun, focus on your topic. Now, please remember, do not forget Panopticon and the idea of culture studies. In coming lectures, I'll be teaching you post-humanism, ethnocentric post-humanism, and many other things. All the latest things that I have learned in Delhi University with these books that I know through JNU and other things, I'll be sharing it with you. I'm trying to bring a professor from Japan. He is in touch with me. He's a linguistic professor. The moment we get him, I will invite some of the students for a Zoom session. Palakshi will be one of the first students because Palakshi gave me the idea to bring these people on Zoom sessions. So I'll be sharing those videos with you. Till then, thank you so much. And MP set, RPSC, you will have your separate live classes. We will be dealing with your syllabus, direct syllabus. So don't worry. Stay tuned. And before we wind up, one last message. Those who want to join the live class, those who want to join the online class, last date is tomorrow. My team told me that, sir, please tell on camera tomorrow is the last date. Third batch is full. So tomorrow is the last date. We will wind up, right? So if you want to join the live class and online classes, WhatsApp me on 8810289637 and that will be enough. Yes, West Bengal set has been announced. Telangana set has been announced. I will appear in Telangana set. I will appear in West Bengal set. I'm going to appear in Ladakh set also. I have filled the form. Last time I could not fill the form. I will appear in Ladakh set in Leh Ladakh. Telangana, if I apply for Telangana set, I will go for Vizag, Vishakhapatnam because I'll have to go for traveling. In West Bengal set, 99% I'll go to Darjeeling because that's in December. Yes, you can watch this video later. You can just save this video. For any query, any career counseling, any guidance, WhatsApp me 8810289637. Take care. Bye bye.